While Anthropic and the Pentagon argue about red lines in court, the checks just cleared for autonomous ground vehicles and surveillance towers. Nobody filed an injunction. If you're just joining, the national security AI fight has moved from Washington guidance into actual battlefield rules. The Trump administration's framework pushed faster adoption, more vendors, military accountability, and lighter regulation. Then the Pentagon's revised targeting doctrine got more concrete. AI-initiated actions, with humans monitoring. That's the policy backdrop. Today, procurement starts to matter.
2 contracts, 2 agencies, real dollar amounts. We've moved from who writes the rules to who gets paid, and that's where it gets interesting.
Let's start with the Marines. A $20 million award to Overland AI. C4ISR Net is calling it the Corps' first autonomous ground vehicle contract.
If national security AI adoption framework matters to you, hit follow. We'll be back on it soon.
C4ISR Net with Hope Hodge Sec.
As the Marine Corps continues its pursuit of ground-based air defense against hostile drones and low-flying enemy aircraft, it's making a milestone investment. A first-of-its-kind $20 million production contract for fully autonomous ground vehicles that can transport air defense systems deeper into the fight, with less human oversight.
$20 million for Overland AI out in Seattle. C4ISRNet calls it the first-of-its-kind production contract for fully autonomous ground vehicles in the Marine Corps. The word first is theirs, not mine. And now the doctrine fight has a line item I can point at.
And notice what's missing from the contract language. No model governance, no red lines, no vendor restrictions. While the fight over who sets the rules drags through court, the acquisition machinery just cut an 8-figure check for autonomous combat hardware.
And here's the loop that gets me. It's an other transaction authority deal through the Undersecretary for Research and Engineering. The Corps is both the customer and the doctrine writer. They define what autonomous engagement means, then sign the check for the thing that does it.
Boots says ground autonomy matters now more than ever, points at Ukraine, and says the tech maturity is there. Fine. The vehicles haul air defense against drones. That's the stated mission. The less human oversight phrase is the part I'd want a contracting officer to define under oath.
And look at where Overland's autonomy stack already runs. General Dynamics SMET, Textron's Ripsaw, DARPA. Overland didn't show up cold. The plumbing was already laid.
From Lauren Blind at Intelligence Community News.
On June 25th, General Dynamics Information Technology, GDIT, a business unit of General Dynamics, announced that it was awarded a $71 million task order with a potential total value of $115 million by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, for next-generation autonomous surveillance towers that strengthen the nation's border security.
That was the same day as the Marine Corps Autonomous Vehicle Award we just hit. GDIT lands a CBP task order, $71 million now, up to $115 million, for what they're calling relocatable autonomous surveillance towers along the southwest border.
Edge AI, video analytics, towers that, quote, autonomously monitor and prioritize alerts with no constant operator oversight. That's domestic surveillance at scale, and now it's got a contract number.
And here's the cold part. GDIT is General Dynamics, exactly the kind of prime Reuters flagged as scrambling to keep its Pentagon relationships clean of Anthropic. While the labs argue red lines in court, GD's IT arm just won 9 figures on autonomous border surveillance.
Mass surveillance is the category Anthropic literally named as a line they won't cross. And the money goes to a vendor with no stated restrictions. The company that drew the line sits in court. The company that wrote nothing cashes the check.
And here's the thing. This wasn't even new spending. It falls under the $1.8 billion Consolidated Tower Program already approved. The framework was sitting there waiting.
Which complicates the clean 2-horse race, by the way. The surveillance money doesn't even go to an AI lab. It goes to a defense prime. The beneficiary list is bigger than Anthropic versus OpenAI.
If you follow Anthropic Pentagon Watch, you might also like AI Daily Briefing. Top AI news for engineers, founders, and investors every weekday, with real capabilities versus demo hype explained fast. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts. You'll find links to every story we covered today in the show notes. So if one of them stuck with you, that's the place to dig in further. That's Anthropic Pentagon Watch for today. This is a Lantern podcast.